no! Son of a fuck!
I have autism and Tourette's, and whenever I'm traveling, I wear this sunflower lanyard. What does this mean? So this is the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Lanyard, and it represents people that have an invisible disability, so something that can't be seen on the outside. This can range from neurological disabilities, being deaf or hard of hearing, having something like POTS or diabetes, anything that can affect how you are out in the world and what you need, but people can't see just by looking at you. So the sunflower is becoming a more universal symbol for a hidden disability, but I've noticed that they are most recognized in airports or when traveling, because airport staffs are trained to recognize these, even in the US. So when wearing this, it lets people know, hey, I might need a little extra assistance, or I might be really overwhelmed. Some people even add pins specifying their needs. So I keep a few things on my lanyard. I have my loop earplugs. These are the rose gold Experience. And then I have this little pea popper fidget and my jelly tangle. That's the keychain one. I love keychain tangles. It's so convenient. But yeah, if you are someone who your disability causes you to maybe need some extra assistance when you're out and about, or especially traveling, I definitely recommend you look into the sunflower lanyard. I'll tag them below. Hope this helped.
Hey everybody, let's discuss invisible disabilities and why you should never assume whether somebody is or is not disabled. I live with cancer, HIV, and achromatopsia, a type of grayscale color blindness. You cannot see any of these things on me, right? Right. I had parked in a handicapped space at the local mall. I went in, I came out. This was on my driver's side window. I'll read it to you. I saw you, an able-bodied young adult, take a handicapped spot. Yes, you used a placard. I doubt it was yours. And yours is underlined several times, really making their point there. If it was and you are disabled, you hide it well. Then I saw a truly handicapped person looking for a spot to park, and it made me mad. You should feel ashamed. I don't. I know that I don't have to explain myself, but after 6 surgeries and 2 rounds of chemo, I can't walk very far without needing to sit and rest and then continue on my way, right? If you feel so strongly, I would rather you face me directly so that I can attempt to educate you, or at the very least, tell you to go do something to yourself, because the level of audacity and false morality it takes to leave this on somebody's, in my case, driver's side window, I'm sure windshield, wherever. I don't know. If you feel so strongly, call your local authorities to investigate the handicap tag. See if it's registered to me. If it is, everything's fine. If it's registered to somebody else and they're not in the vehicle, I would be fined. But the thing is, it's mine. I have it because of cancer. You can't see cancer. That's why it's called an invisible disability. Don't do this. This isn't it. Because now, me, anxiety-ridden me, who already had problems, like just parking in a space and walking into a store and seeing people look at me, I already felt some kind of way. This is going to compound that, and it's not fair that I don't get to face you. And of course, life's not fair, blah, 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 whatever. I've spent the last 2 years in cancer care. Don't do this. This isn't it. Like, just don't. You don't know. You don't know.
I tried wearing a prosthetic arm a few times actually, but probably for the longest period of my life was when I was young, very young, like a baby / verging onto a toddler possibly. And that was because my parents were told to put one on me by the doctors. They were encouraged to, sorry, not told to. I guess they were told that it would help me with like my balance, And they're kind of true in that way. I have a really bad back because I kind of like always move my arm to be in level with my hand, which means my shoulder's always moving forwards. So they weren't wrong in that way. But in the end, my parents kind of gave up on that. They realised very quickly that it was not something I wanted to wear. For an example, I would be pushed, I guess, around the supermarket. I'm kind of retelling the story of what I've been told. And yeah, my mum would be taking me around the supermarket and I would just pull off this hand and just be like holding it around in the air. I was just playing around with it like it was a toy. Imagine you're used to having just your hand, right? And then you try and hold a stick and then use the end of that stick to do something. It's just like an alien object that just doesn't feel like it's helping me in any way. And I actually tried wearing one again a few times in my life. Like in primary school at one point I got one fitted. It lasted a few weeks. I just kind of wanted to see if I'd like it again. I also got one fitted for acting jobs in case I needed it, but I never really needed it. And then I also had like a cool metal arm as well, which was for a photo shoot in the New York Times, which was insane. I wore it like in premieres and things, but that was definitely just like a fashion item. So yeah, I've worn them a few times, but they're just not for me.
Being disabled is really fun, especially as an adult. So I'm hard of hearing, I wear hearing aids, and I get to look other adults in the eye when my hearing aids get clogged, because the human body is disgusting. I get to look them in the eye and go, do you get grossed out by body stuff? Which is the most vague and threatening and ominous sentence to say to another person. And then they either say yes or no, and if they say no, I just start pulling shit out of my ears and take a napkin. Usually it usually happens around lunch. I don't know why. I probably just noticed it around lunch. Then take a napkin, the thing that you use for messes, but also is sitting around food, and just go, great, my bodily fluids are going to be on this. Hooray.
We're chronically ill. We may not look sick, but if you say that, we're going to have to resist the urge to punch you in the face. We're chronically ill. Of course we know more about our health conditions than our doctors do. We're chronically ill. It's been years since we felt good, but thanks to brain fog, we can't remember what we're missing. We're chronically ill. We see our doctors more than we see our friends. We're chronically ill. No matter how many diagnoses we get, we still secretly are going to believe that one doctor who told us that we were just lazy or weaker than other people. We're chronically ill. We used to be saving for a house. Now we just save for surgeries and treatments that might improve our quality of life, but probably won't. We're chronically ill. Trust me, we've tried yoga.
Here is your guide on things you should not do to a wheelchair user. Before I get tons of comments asking me if these things actually happen, the answer is yes. All of these things have happened to me many times. Well, except for the last one. Number 1, do not come up to us and pat us on the head. Do you want a stranger touching you? I didn't think so. So don't do it. Number 2, do not put your shopping bags on our wheelchair handles. I have had so many people do this. Put it on the ground. Number 3, don't push us out of the way. Would you grab a non-disabled stranger by the shoulders and move them out of your way? Didn't think so. Number 4, I know we look different and you might not encounter a wheelchair user in your everyday life, but please don't stare at us like we're in a zoo. Number 5, don't step over the top of us. I had someone grab me just like this in order to step over the top of me. Don't touch us. Number 6, you do not need to get all the way on the ground in order to talk to us. Unless we are in a very loud or busy environment, I don't need to be talked to like this. Number 7, if you see a wheelchair user stand up from their chair, please don't gape at us. Ambulatory wheelchair users do exist. And finally, number 9, don't jump over us. Thanks for watching.